Hey everybody, and welcome to beautiful Zagreb, Croatia. Huh? It actually kind of looks like this. Apologies for doing this in my hotel room. I am exhausted and just cannot bring myself to go outside. It's been a long day. Long 2 days, actually. I guess I'm concatenating this and yesterday's into one dispatch because yesterday was really just kind of a travel day. We drove from Belgrade to Zagreb, which was about 5 hours. But in the meantime, we stopped on a little border town called Vukovar, which bore the brunt of a pretty fierce engagement during the Serbian-Croatia conflict in 1991. I think it was under siege for 3 months before it was finally taken over by the Serbian forces. So the town was basically leveled, and we got to kind of walk around the what has been rebuilt, but a lot of it, some of it hasn't, so some of the buildings still show damage from the shelling that occurred. Probably, I don't know if it'll make it into the main cloth map features, but probably at least the travelogue stuff. But it was on the way, and an interesting historical, interesting, a lot of people died there. A historical site that we really wanted to see, so we stopped there. But today was Zagreb proper. We started with, as is our pattern, a guided tour of the city with our guide. Again, can't remember his name. I kept wanting to call him Naven, like Steve Martin's character in The Jerk. I don't think that's his name, but he was really cool, very candid, and showed us around this beautiful city. It reminds me a lot of other beautiful European cities that I've been to. It's got great architecture. It feels very small. There are these cool little blue trains that run around that kind of remind me of that scene in The Bourne Supremacy, I think, the second Bourne movie, where he's in Alexanderplatz in Berlin, when there's those yellow trains that he's trying to lose a tail or something, or chasing somebody. I can't remember. Anyway, there's this central square in Zagreb that looks a lot like Alexanderplatz. But it wasn't just a city tour for B-roll purposes that we did today. We also met our contact here, Bojo, who is not a guide, but he works in the game industry and knows a lot of the game industry people here. And as I'm sure you can imagine, it's a small community and everyone knows everyone. So he was able to introduce us to basically everyone that we're going to see here in Croatia. And we started today with 2 interviews. So we did the B-roll walk around shoot, and then we did 2 interviews, which is why my eyes look red. But it was good. We went to 2 video game developers. The first one called Games Revolted. They are a small studio. So we saw 2 studios today that were about the same size, between 7 to 12 people. This first one is working on a online trading card game called Phageborn. Apparently card games are big in this region because we got another guy that mentioned Magic the Gathering, and that still plays to this day. And I think we might be going to the place that he actually competes at later in the trip. But today we were just talking with him. He's the game designer on Phageborn, and chatted with him and the CEO of Games Revolted. See? Can't remember. My brain is fried. Second interview, though, was also really cool. Little Green Men game studio, so they do Starpoint Gemini, that series, which they've released, I think, 3 games. The most recent being Starpoint Gemini Warlords. So we chatted with one of their programmers and the CEO. and he had some fascinating things to say about what it's like to make games in Croatia. So that was number one with the bullet. What I wanted to ascertain. So already off to a good start. Tomorrow we have an even bigger day with I think it starts with the game developer, goes to another game developer. There's so much floating around that I can't exactly remember the itinerary, but I'm sure I'll be back with you tomorrow to let you know how it went. So see you next time.